Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy.
Who's done a terrific job.
Why, thank you. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Streaming live on the internet.
And I think you said you're going to test that too.
We did test it. Yeah, it works sometimes. Starting soon. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Doing online shows.
For much longer than I would have liked.
Suit yourself. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. From their tidied up offices.
And then I see the disinfectant.
You do not want to know what happened in there before. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Answering the questions from
you, the people of this country.
If you email them in comics@somenews.co.uk or tweet at Mr. Stephen Allen or at Erich McElroy. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Starting soon.
In a minute. 1 minute.
Well, maybe a bit longer than a minute, but soon. Soon. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. The web show we started because we were out of work.
And it is still true.
All right, don't rub it in. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Using their expertise to solve problems.
You're going to have to use medical doctors with.
Nope, just two comedians talking rubbish out of their face holes. Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems with Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy. Starting soon. Lockdown 2020, giving Stephen Allen and Erich McElroy bigger compassion, time to write,
and guts.
Hell yeah.
You've shown and are continuing to show.
Only when we stand up on webcam. comics. Hello and welcome to Comics in Quarantine, Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
Hello, I'm Erich McElroy.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Steve?
Well, I mean, I'm not wearing this because I'm worried about coronavirus. I'm slightly embarrassed about the state of the beard. It's coming on, isn't it? It's really coming in there.
That is some serious beardage.
Thank you. It's more David Bellamy than it used to be. Right? When I used to grow a beard, it used to be a mixture of dark and ginger, and now the darks have gone grey, and the ginger has remained. So it's an interesting one, isn't it? Do you know what? This is the good thing about doing one of these shows is that because we've been filming ourselves every week for about 8 or 9 weeks now, we can actually go back through some of the pictures and see when it was I stopped caring. So there we are. Picture of us in week 1, clean shaven. I look sprightly, if anything.
I'm not wearing a tie, so we've gotten a little more formal.
Yeah, well, we can skip forward to week 3. You're still not betied, but if anything, I'm looking quite dapper. Look at that. I put a jacket on. Skip forward to week 6. I look weary. Something started to happen. Week 11. He's on the turn. Week 12. Oh, the man's a mess. And then we come back to right here, right now.
Right here, right now.
Let's move you back across there.
And I've gotten slightly smaller. I wonder if there's a marked point there, Stephen, where you stopped being broadcast on national television and were only being broadcast on this show. Is there any correlation there?
You could call it that. You could also call it the point at which I stopped being employed and became unemployed, self-employed worker. Which actually is not that bad because, look, for ages now I've been complaining about the fact that I'm not a furloughed worker, I'm self-employed. Because as soon as all this happened, the furloughed people got furloughed, and I was like, oh, why can't I be a furloughed worker? And then there was Rishi Sunak did his whole thing for self-employed people. We got 80% as well, but we were going to get taxed. And then he said, plus, you're going to have to pay more tax in the future for it. We don't get things like sick pay. Why can't I be a furloughed worker? And then today they were saying that furloughed workers are going to be asked to pick fruit. You can keep it, actually. Thanks. I'm self-employed, so I can't.
So you're going to be...
I would say I'd absolutely love to help out, but I'm self-employed and we don't get sick leave. So if I do my backing in a field, who's going to help me out, Rishi? Turns out no one.
That's right. And the most important thing we have that makes us what we are is the fact that we can stand up and do comedy. And if you hurt yourself and you can't stand up, then you're really screwed once this is all over. I know. I have been shaving my face through all of this, even without any employment. But I haven't been shaving anywhere else, if you know what I mean.
I mean, if you have, I don't want to make you too big though, if you have those pictures, I am going to be terrified. We don't have to sit through them, do we?
I can go through them.
Do you know what? Let's move on. Are you going to go and pick fruit?
Well, I saw that to pick for Britain because I am a British citizen, even with this accent. And I know that we have now, with Brexit, we've seized our country back and we're not letting those people in here with their diseases and their foreign passports and everything else. But yes, I will do my part. I will pick for Britain. So I tapped and I went onto the website. Service is unavailable. So that was as it was being announced by the government. Because nothing says competence like our website wasn't ready.
There's never been a government thing to do with a computer that has ever worked. That's the beauty of what we're dealing with here. Thank you very much for some of the messages already. Sharon says evening and says that I could pass as a chemistry teacher with this beard. And the jacket as well. There's elbow pads on it.
Very nice. That is very much a chemistry jacket.
I'm on the turn. And James says nothing wrong with a bit of grey in the goatee. Nowhere. Eric's got his grey.
It's not technically a goatee if it's attached to a beard. I don't think you can do, unless you can. You haven't done that as like an attachable feature. Because I think even with beards now being popular, goatees still make you look like shit.
Or evil.
Is it?
That's the.
Or evil. That's right. Is that the next stage? If we come on here in a week or two and you've shaven into the goatee, then we can know that you've become evil Steve.
We might as well, as you say. I don't need to worry about being clean shaven for any work. I'm not standing on stage in front of people. I feel this is very much just our special little thing for the people who watch, little group, little gang of people who are invited to this. So yeah, we can see what I look like with a goatee. That would trim out all the bits that's still got colour and just leave the white. Yeah. But let's see what it looks like. Why not?
See what it looks like. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us tonight. We've got some great stories ahead of you. This theory here with Comics in Quarantine Solving Problems is that we have nothing else to do except for do beauty tips, as we've been doing, and solve problems and to discuss the news. So if you have any problems you want us, you can hit us up on the various social media things and ask us questions. We're going to take you through some of the headlines. And we have to mention, if you do like what you're doing and you want to prevent us from having to go pick fruit, you can contribute to the show through our Ko-fi link, because I don't want to pick fruit. I mean, look at these fingers.
They're not fruit pickers, are they?
They're not fruit picking fingers. I mean, they're fruit eating fingers. They're fruity fingers, but they're not fruit picking fingers.
Nice.
I don't know if that makes me look good. But we'll dive into some news. Nothing says news like the President of the United States. Have you been keeping up on your Trump, Steve?
I mean, I like to stay on top of any Trump issues. Yeah. It's been fun times.
I mean, Trump is in charge of the biggest American crisis that we've seen since his election. And he's been talking about something that he kind of gone off, and he's come back onto it, and he kind of went off, and now he's back. He's back on the hydroxychloroquine. And I have to say, I've been practicing saying that for a while. And I think I said that like I'm a member of the Trump family and I've invested in the company. Because Trump had seemed to kind of drop the hydroxychloroquine thing because the FDA said it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. But then he was asked about it yesterday, and we've got a clip.
And you'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers, before you catch it. The frontline workers, many are taking it. I happen to be taking it. Hydroxychloroquine? I'm taking it, hydroxychloroquine.
When?
Right now, yeah. A couple of weeks ago, I started taking it.
Yeah. Now, you know that Trump is not actually taking the hydroxychloroquine. And you know that because he's talking slowly, because he's clearly just making that shit up as he goes along. And he decided in that moment to claim that he's been taking it. And then, of course, the follow-up question is, why is he taking it? And he had this response.
Because I think it's good. I've heard a lot of good stories. And if it's not good, I'll tell you right. I'm not going to get hurt by it.
That's why I take medicine, Steve. The stories. Let me tell you, I've heard some stories about penicillin, which will knock your socks off. It is such a good story. I mean, you've got your chemistry background. That's why that's what really sells a good chemical bond, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's what the lectures used to be. Yeah, in the old days, the lecturers would just tell us, "Come with me on a journey of the mind." It was in 1803, and they had some fun times with phosphorus. Yeah.
So he's decided to take it, even though it's not really recommended by the FDA for this, and we still don't even quite know what the side effects might be.
Well, as a chemist, I looked into this for you. I managed to find a picture of the bottle on the internet, and if you look on the side of the bottle, there are some side effects. I know it's been a drug that's been used for a while, but there are still some side effects which you might be concerned about, knowing that President Trump has been taking it. If we have a look here, it's small print, but I can read it for you. It says, warning, side effects may include hair loss, orange skin, infidelity, rage tweeting, bloating, bleach cravings, that's what you don't normally see, science denial, beep grabbing, and of course collusion. So you do want to watch out for that.
It actually says beep grabbing.
Beep. Yeah. Family show. It's not a family show. It's not. Don't get the family involved.
It's not a family show, and I'll show it by showing you what I haven't been shaving. No.
Oh, yeah.
No, we'll see. If that makes the donations go up, I'll show you. Some of the other, the actual side effects, in addition to those, which are all true, paranoia, hallucinations, and psychosis.
How long has he been taking it?
I think for the last 20 years. So I don't know. Now I've already maintained that one of the general side effects of COVID-19 is something that's made me really uncomfortable with it. And I think we have a clip of this too. And it's agreeing with Piers Morgan.
Oof.
Because today's Daily Mail, President Piers Morgan says President Trump's reckless coronavirus cure claim will kill Americans and is a shameful, negligent abuse of his power. I mean, I can't. You know what? If Piers says that I'm not supposed to take it, I can't agree with him. I've got some here. I had some. I'm going to take it. I've got a little chaser.
Okay. Ooh.
Take that, Piers.
Just watch out, monitor. If you do start to turn orange or grab any beeps, then I think you need to consult a doctor.
My little fruity fingers. You bet. Did not mean to say that again. One of the other side effects of it appears to be an inability to realize what you're retweeting, which also happened because Donald Trump likes to repeat people who are supporting him, obviously. And so, was it today or yesterday? I can't remember. But since this happened yesterday, Donald Trump retweeted this tweet about the whole I knew I couldn't. The drug. So Fox News on hydrochloroquine in the last 2 days, Neil Cavuto said, "It'll kill you." And Laura Ingraham said, "Take it, take it, take it." Now, Donald Trump retweeted that tweet. Clearly, he saw the Laura Ingraham on his side, take it, take it, take it, and thought, it's a good tweet. It's good for me. Yeah. I'm going to retweet it. But what he didn't do is watch the actual video that was embedded in that tweet.
A VA study showed that among a population of veterans in a hospital receiving this treatment, those with vulnerable conditions, respiratory conditions, heart ailments, they died. I want to stress again, they died. If you are in a risky population here and you are taking this as a preventative treatment to ward off the virus, or in a worst case scenario, you are dealing with the virus, and you are in this vulnerable population, it will kill you. I cannot stress enough. This will kill you.
Wow.
Doesn't feel like that's quite the point that Donald Trump was trying to make, unless this is a weird way for him to kill himself. The guy who did that tweet that got retweeted by the president, his name is the Horse Whisperer. He tweeted this as a follow-up. The man who just retweeted me is a complete fuctopotamus. President. The guy's not a fan of Donald Trump, but that doesn't stop Trump from tweeting him. So things are slipping. You know that also Trump isn't taking the drug because he forced the White House physician to release a doctor's note, which we have, and I know it's hard to read, but the key paragraph is here where they're talking about the drug, and the doctor says, after numerous discussions he, the president, and I had regarding the evidence for and against the use of hydroxychloroquine,
that one, yeah.
Which is the actual scientific way of saying it, we concluded the potential benefit from treatment outweighed the relative risks. Now, if you read that statement closely, he doesn't actually say that Trump is taking the drug. He just says we concluded the benefit from treatment outweighed the relative risks. Trump ain't taking the drug.
Okay.
He's not taking it. And we know that, the thing is, it's scary. If he is, it is the health of the president. And Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, she weighed in on this today, shall we say, and she said she's concerned for the president. And
Madam
we have
Speaker,
that.
What's your reaction to the president saying that he's now taking hydroxychloroquine?
He's our president, and I would rather he not be taking something that has not been approved by the scientists, especially in his age group and in his, shall we say, weight group, what is morbidly obese, they say. So I think that it's not a good idea.
Ouch.
I've watched that clip a lot. Now, some people complained that she was fat-shaming Trump, and she's not fat-shaming him because, he is clinically obese. You know that. Now, he claims he isn't because he claims that he's 6'3" and weighs 239 pounds. Now, I know that doesn't mean anything to you because you do your measurements here in stones, or some of you in kilograms, or whatever shit, jelly beans, whatever. It doesn't matter. It basically, being 6'3" and 239 puts him a whisker under obese. But we know that that's not true. because he's been photographed with people who we know are 6'3", like athletes, and he's clearly shorter than they are. He's the same height as Obama, although they have a very different stature. And we also know that he's obese because we can see him.
I got to be honest, as a Brit, whenever I hear words like, he's 6'3" and he's 200 and something pounds, I think you're about to break into a song about an awfully big Marine and then start singing "Woo Camouflage," because I don't know what these numbers are.
He's big. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy.
So it's scary. I do have to say before we move on, thank you to Sue, who's done a contribution to the show, which you can do using the Ko-fi links. So anything you contribute to the Comics in Quarantine is very appreciated. So thank you, Sue.
You know what? When it comes to this Trump stuff with he's not taking the drug. You're right, he's not taking it, but he knows that he's saying this stuff in a press conference, and then we all focus on that rather than other things. I'll tell you what he's doing. It's a British phrase. He's taking the piss. He's taking the piss. Other people are taking the piss. I think a lot of people are taking the piss. What do you think, Donald?
You'd be surprised at how many people are taking it, especially the frontline workers.
They're taking the piss
The
all day long.
frontline workers, many are taking it.
They're taking the piss.
I happen to be taking it.
I think you are.
I happen to be taking it.
I think he is taking the piss, and he agrees. So it's good that we get some consensus on that. So you can keep messaging through. Mark Randall's, he's okay with the swearing. He points out it's after 9 o'clock. He also says, "Great to see you again. Looking good with a fuzz."
Ooh, the fuzz.
Although we've got a couple of messages on the beard. Jeremy says, "Lose the beard. It's like your head is on upside down." Oh, that's rude. It's rude because you don't. I know these are called eye teeth, but it doesn't technically work, does it? If I could see through my mouth, you'd have something. Vince Maple, hello Vince. He says, "Harsh goatee abuse. Have a word with Jeremy. He's saying my head's on upside down. There's no need for this." James says Eric has a baby face and he's jealous. Oh. No, but you do sport a large beard when you take the tablets, don't you?
I can, yeah. When I take the pills and when I don't want to kiss my wife.
Yep. Chris says only fruit that those fingers have picked is, and we're all worried where this sentence is going to go, off the shelf at Waitrose. Nice save, Chris. Ooh. We get away with that one.
Nice one.
And Sharon says, "Is that a specimen bottle on Trump's desk?" I bet it is. I bet he's he's taking the piss and he's keeping some because he's that kind of guy. Thank you for all the messages. Wherever you are watching this, you can send a message and we should be able to track it down. You can tweet us at Mr. Stephen Allen and at Erich McElroy. And if you enjoy the show, the old contribution at the bottom, buy us a coffee, would be very much appreciated. I want to talk quarantine now for a little while if I can. 14-day quarantine is the plan. Ryanair boss says that it's absolute nonsense. And a lot of people have been saying, why bring in quarantine now? So if you come into the UK, you'll be quarantined for 14 days. But why didn't we do this earlier on when we needed to stop people bringing the disease here? We already have it now. It's a strange time to do it. At one of the daily briefings, Professor Jean-Claude Van Damme, I think that's his name, he answered the question like this.
Well, my recollection is we did do it before, that on the 29th of February, and then I think on the 30th of February.
On the 29th of February and the 30th of February. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. News to me. I always felt sorry for people who were born on the 29th of February because you only get a birthday once every 4 years. But people born on the 30th of February never get a birthday. Think of all the cake they miss out on. There is a chance. Okay, he's a professor and he probably misspoke. And when he found out that he accidentally said the wrong date, this was his response.
Oh, I'd forgotten.
I know, nice. It's low-hanging fruit, but they do look alike. So quarantine, 14 days. The big question is, why bring it in now when the infection rate in foreign countries is actually dropping? To phrase it very crudely, there's never been a time during the pandemic when foreigners have been less infectious. So why bring it in now? It's almost as if we are controlling the movement of foreign people to make us feel better. And I'm sure that is a sentence that can't be said about any other news story since 2016. No. But also I want to focus on the concept of 14 days. Because most people go on holiday for, say, 2 weeks. And I've run the figures on this. I've done the maths. 14 days is 2 weeks.
Well done.
Yeah. So if you go for a fortnight's holiday, you will have to spend 14 days of that in quarantine. People will just be going on holiday to the flipping airports. I know what you're thinking. This is going to ruin our tourism trade, but not so, because the government has been investing money on a video promotional campaign to keep people interested. And I think we can have a look. Check it out.
Need to get away from it all? Then why not have a delightful 2-week stay in Gatwick Airport? Set in the idyllic location of just 10 minutes walk away from Crawley Town Centre. But don't worry, you won't be going there. You won't be allowed. Need some quiet and peaceful time away from the kids to unwind? Good news! You'll be given your own individual cells, rooms. And you won't be allowed to visit each other for the duration of your stay. Why not visit Gatwick Village with all the shops? Why not visit duty free? Why not visit the food court? Why not? Because of coronavirus. Stay in our no stars, spotlessly clean accommodation. It should be spotless. It's scrubbed down with bleach every 15 minutes. So, come and stay at Gatwick Airport. Book now to guarantee disappointment.
I know where I'm going to be having my holidays. Right here. Not leaving the house.
Hey, anywhere but Stansted. That's my saying.
Very true. Some more of your messages coming through. And Anasita, probably saying it wrong, do apologise, says, the beard is quite distinguished. You look like an academic in a good way. How is there a bad way to be an academic? What? You look like an intelligent person in a real terrible way. But thank you for your comments. Thank you for the beard commentary. Wherever you're watching this, you can send your messages and slap a coffee in our direction. Eric, what you got?
I've had a few messages come on my feeds here. Anthony Miller is saying I look quite well dressed for someone unemployed. I thank you. You make an effort. I am not wearing trousers because I can't wear trousers anymore because I've grown so much hair down there. And Ben Fletcher wants to know, does Priti Patel's new policy mean that I have to leave? Maybe. But if I get my fruity fingers out, maybe I can stay.
Yeah.
And Simon has said, you chaps got this. So I think that's a nice compliment.
Yeah.
I got this. But I think we are both hoping that keep the comments coming in, that obviously the pubs reopen soon, that we can go back to work as gigging comics as much as we enjoy doing this. But of course, that is going to require a different type of social distancing than what we're used to. So people have been trying to figure out, how can we get back in to the places like pubs, like comedy clubs, and make sure we maintain that social distance. And there's a place in America that has a solution. Oh.
She can't drive.
There at the end. Now, obviously, it's handy because those tables act as a flotation device.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you noticed the guy walking out of the restaurant without one around him just got within 2 feet. So that kind of, obviously, you need to make sure you only stand next to people in the inflatable devices. But obviously,
very true, yeah.
Yeah. We can't.
Okay, just before we move on, can I just check? Are you sure that is for quarantine and social distancing and not because they've all got really bad piles? We'll never know.
Speaking from experience. But obviously not all of us can get a inflatable table like that. So I was thinking of some things that we could do once we start to venture out. There's also the classic bubble ball, which we've got. I don't know what you call that there. Get one of those to go out, although it would make it hard to drink, I suppose. And you've got, like how you have the COVID background there, because it kind of looks like you're inside the COVID virus itself.
Nice.
Obviously, that's a little bit bulky. So maybe you want something a little bit more intimate, allows you to maintain the social distance and maybe be a little bit closer. And I found this online. It's the human condom, which I think is made of human skin.
Oh.
So one size fits all, or so they told me. I'll find out when it gets here from Amazon. Now, obviously, you may not want to go to that extreme. Maybe you just think, well, I just want to keep people away from me, but I don't want to have to wear an outfit. I've got a solution. Carry one of these. A dead fish. Just keep one in the pocket. Handy. You get hungry. Another solution, if you want to keep people away from you, is you could pick up one of these T-shirts.
Yeah.
Because that person could just, I mean, I've been gone from America for too long. If I saw that, I would get close enough to punch that person. But I have found, because eventually we will be allowed out, and I can say, I went through all these different outfits. I found what I'm going to be wearing once we can go back to the pubs.
Wow. That'll do it.
That'll do it.
Did you see the hug curtain, by the way? It was a lovely video online which genuinely moved me. There's someone designed a shower curtain, put arms in it so you could put your arms through so that they could hug their gran. We've got the video. Let's have a little look.
It's only you that's going to use them. It's only you going to use them. But you've got to put your arms through the bottom one. Yeah? So your arms are through the bottom one. Okay? My arms go through the top one. And
Oh, it's so nice, isn't it?
It's creepy.
Yeah, well, creepy. It's either creepy or it's a solution to how they can keep making Love Island, because they cancelled this series because the contestants couldn't get intimate. You need more than just the arms, but another one of those little things in there, and mix that with your body condom you've ordered online, and I think we've just solved some problems.
Yeah, just stay away from the stinky fish.
Oh, wow. Before we move on, have you got any more on this?
I think that's right. What I'm wearing. So I'm good.
Do more messages. Eleanor Moss says, I've got me and 4 dogs watching, and they've all got different opinions on the beard. It's very controversial. Thank you. Even dogs with their facial hair are judging me in my house.
And I know the dogs can't buy us a coffee, but they can throw us a bone.
Yeah,
so
good point. I've got some more messages to do before we move on. Although Eleanor says, you never answered my question from last week, so I guess I'll never know who you'd quarantine with. I didn't spot that quite. There was other dog-related ones, but we'll deal with that on Thursday then, Eleanor. We'll add that into the mix. Chris says, come to Gatwick and pretend to be Tom Hanks and remake the terminal. Although Eleanor says, waiting for some green screen Wapacha Haya Pitch. Do you mean the thing with the virus? Look, I can't just make that happen because you need to focus.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's just not something that can just pop in there at any point throughout the show.
And the point is that you don't know when it's going to happen, and that's why you have to stay alert. And that is how you beat viruses.
You just made his day because he got to do that.
Right, you ready? Are you tense? Ready? Be the ball. Be the virus. And breathe.
It wasn't on my face last time. It's moved.
And Chris says there are specialist clubs for things like that. Apparently, yeah. Eric's bought the kit. Keep the messages coming. If you do like to buy us a coffee, that would very much be appreciated. Links on the bottom. What we're moving on to now? Oh, we're moving on to one of my topics, aren't we?
Yes.
So Boris Johnson. We're going to talk about Boris Johnson. His approval rating has plummeted 9 points. And all the newspapers were saying it's over the bungled handling of easing the lockdown. I think they're missing the obvious point. His approval rating has dropped since he got better. Because we're just nice about people who've caught this because he might have died. We were all thinking, if anyone said anything harsh about Boris Johnson, everyone's like, oh no, come on now. He's a person and he's ill. He's in his hospital. He's got at least one pregnant woman waiting for him. So come on. Come on, be nice. Now, at least one of those pregnant women's popped the kid and he's no longer ill. And what he's done there, it's a technical phrase, he's sharpened the curve. If we look at a graph of his approval rating, we can see that the blue area is how his approval rating would have been if he hadn't contracted coronavirus. He sharpened the curve, moving it to the red area where it went above the line of positive approval when he was ill, but then sharply comes down as we're all sick of being nice about him. Because it's just fundamentally true that we're just nice about people who've caught it, especially if they're in hospital.
Yeah.
Apart from this guy. There's a guy who spent most of his time recently posting on Facebook and social media how coronavirus is a hoax, has ended up in hospital with coronavirus. Changed his mind apparently as well. Interesting. So look, I'm trying to be nice, but come on, you know what I mean. I hope he gets better so we can laugh in his face. But what's Boris Johnson been doing to try and improve his approval rating? He wrote a piece in the Mail on Sunday saying that he understood that the new rules were frustrating and complicated, and he said he will rely on the good sense of the British people.
Oh, dear.
I like being flattered as much as the next Brit. But even I realise, is there that much good sense happening in the UK these days? For example, you've got people who go and burn down 5G masts and then probably complain that they've lost their signal. If you've been in Kent, there was a story in Kent last year where they banned the sale of peanut butter because it didn't say on the back, may contain nuts. There are boxes where you buy an iron in the box. There's a warning label that says, do not iron clothes while on body. You cannot have an abundance of good sense and need that warning label. They are mutually exclusive. And if you want more evidence of how the fact that not all of us have good sense, here's a picture of a man who made his own face mask. In episode 1, we showed you how to make your own face mask. You can get it on YouTube. This guy on public transport, he was a step ahead of the curve there. He's put his head in a plastic bag. It's a bag for life, a short life, if you're going to go around sticking your head in plastic bags. So is there any sign of any good sense out there? Yes. And I'm plugging, you can see it up there, the Swindon Advertiser. There it is, the Swindon Advertiser. It's a newspaper where I write a little column. If you're in that area, have a read. There was a lovely story over the weekend. There was an organised anti-lockdown protest that was cancelled because everyone stayed home. Which is the best story ever. Even the people who don't like the lockdown have the good sense to stay home. Boris, you might be onto something. Keep the messages coming through. Good sense, says Mark Randall. Boaty McBoatface. Good point, well made.
Nice. Yeah, it is bad when even the people in Swindon don't want to come out in Swindon. Let's see. Simon here said, I'm sure Bojo will hit the second peak on approval ratings and recovery. There we go. So nice. Second peak. Yeah, that's a good way to do it.
He'll get ill again. Jan says, Steve, I think you're the only man in England working from home not wearing pyjamas. Well done for keeping up the standard, says Jan. You know, it's almost pyjamas on the lower half. It really is.
He sleeps he tried to sleep in the outfit that the MASH report, but they took it away from him.
They took it away. They took away my suit.
A thank you to Chris, who's just contributed to the show. So we really appreciate that. It does give us hope that our lives have some meaning.
But thank you very much for that. Yeah. So moving on, what's the next topic?
Well, moving on is the topic that is burning up everybody's ears, and everybody's talking about it because everybody knows it's the most serious thing that has ever happened to the world, and that is, of course, Obamagate. Are you familiar with
Mr.
Obamagate?
President, in one of your...
Sorry, I thought you were queuing me up for the thing. It looked like you were. It was one of those facial expressions. We're back. No, I am familiar with Obamagate. I saw there was a tweet about it.
Yep. Well, here. Now we can go to the clip.
Mr. President, in one of your Mother's Day tweets, you appear to accuse President Obama of the biggest political crime in American history by far. Those were your words. What crime exactly are you accusing President Obama of committing, and do you believe the Justice Department should prosecute him?
Obamagate. It's been going on for a long time. It's been going on from before I even got elected. And it's a disgrace that it happened. And if you look at what's gone on, and if you look at now all of this information that's being released, and from what I understand, that's only the beginning. Some terrible things happened, and it should never be allowed to happen in our country again. And you'll be seeing what's going on over the coming weeks. But I wish you'd write honestly about it, but unfortunately, you choose not to do so. Yeah, John, please.
Crime. What is the crime exactly that you're accusing him of?
You know what the crime is. The crime is very obvious to everybody. All you have to do is read the newspapers, except yours. John, please.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Yeah. Are you preparing yourself for Obamagate there?
They were all wearing it, so I thought I'd blend in. But yeah.
So
what is
it's
that?
Clear there. Well, some people have said it's not clear what Obamagate is because he didn't say what it was. He can't. And a lot of people have been, you can watch Fox News. It doesn't. Basically, I have figured out how to decode this so that I know what Obamagate is. So I'm gonna help, but I need your help, Steve.
Yeah.
So first off, in order to determine what Obamagate is, I need to know what is your favorite food?
Favorite food? I'd go for custard creams, the biscuit.
Custard cream. Okay. For the Americans watching, that's a cookie. Not an actual biscuit, because that would be anyway. What was your first concert? Who did you see in your first concert?
I went to see Blur in concert.
Blur. Okay, good. And what was your favorite holiday destination?
Oh, interesting. I mean, I'd have to go for the classic of Skegness.
Skegness. Nice, keeping it real. And who is your least favorite politician? Don't say Trump.
Okay, least favorite politician. Ooh, and I can't say Priti Patel either because people accuse you of things if you do that. Let's go for Dominic Raab.
Okay, Dominic Raab. Okay, I'm just putting that in our system here. What is Obamagate? Obamagate is the time Obama and Blur went to Skegness and ate custard cream with Dominic Raab. That is Obamagate. Because much like Brexit means Brexit, Obamagate means don't look now, but the economy is tanked. I'm the most corrupt president ever, and 100,000 people are going to be dead by the end of June. Obamagate.
Wow, I feel like I've learned something. I did wonder because I saw him tweet as President Trump tweeted just the word Obamagate with an exclamation mark.
Yeah, that's it. So
it looked like
that's what it means.
Like it was Googling. He was trying to find out himself.
Yeah. He's got no idea what he's talking about. But then again, he's taking medication that makes him psychotic. So it's not really surprising that that's what's happened to the man.
Some more of your messages then before we go. Eleanor says 2 of the dogs prefer the face mask to the beard. One is with Eric on the baby face look. One is undecided. So basically we need to find out what that final dog thinks of the beard or the shavenness. Shaven Haven over here. And Asita says, custard creams? Not even a chocolate digestive? Why would I have a chocolate digestive? What? Why would that be my... What?
Yeah.
What?
What?
I do not understand your message. Why would you... What? So I could melt the chocolate when I dunk it like a fool? Chris says maybe he was looking for suggestions. Yeah. That's and also Eleanor says you may have inadvertently started a biscuit war. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, one of the most heated topics we've had on the show is about making a cup of tea. So we can talk about the big things. We can talk about the No, we can't talk about that. Can't say it. But don't bring up biscuits and tea. Yeah. That's just a step too far.
Anthony says, you're doing a great job, guys. I'll contribute when and if I get my self-employment grant. I applied on Friday, finally. Good. Yeah, don't worry. We'll all have to pay extra tax back because... He wants to punish us. I still insist that Rishi Sunak must have been beaten up by a gang of self-employed people when he was younger, and now he hates us.
But you should be happy those people don't have a pension anymore. I think we're back on Thursday, which is going to be. Can I say it's going to be a special show on Thursday, Steve? Can I say what?
It's going to be a special show for you. Why is it special? What?
It's going to be my birthday.
Oh yeah, we're doing a birthday special. Normally a show has to be on air for a year to do a birthday special, but we're cheating.
Yeah, because it's my birthday. So we are broadcasting on my birthday on Thursday, and we hope people will join us then. And I think we're coming towards the end of this one, aren't we?
Yeah, nearly there.
Yeah.
My advice to you would be, watch us on Thursday. Stay alert. Whoopah!
So if you want me to have a really special birthday, you could help buy me some birthday presents by contributing to the link. Or tell your friends that you enjoy the show. We've got a new YouTube channel, which is Comics Essential on YouTube. You can subscribe to that. We put clips of the shows and things up there. And you can do the social media things. There's so many. We're on LinkedIn right now. And if anybody is watching us on LinkedIn, please tell us. Because I don't think anybody's actually on LinkedIn.
No.
It's all bots.
Yeah, they email me every day. God knows why. I mean, I'm unemployed. If anyone should be getting these messages, it's people with jobs. Unbelievable. Thank you very much for your message. We'll see you Thursday. I think we're all sorted. Anything else?
Yep. That's it. Thank you very much, Steve. We'll see you there.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.